since I have both of you here who are Manchester United fans, I thought I would get your thoughts on Manchester United's season. So, ever since I'll get Amir's opinion first. So, ever since Amorim got sacked, in somewhere in December, maybe in January, December, what have you made of Manchester United season?
It's fantastic season, I think. I think it's crazy to considering where we came from, which was like, last year we were in the dumps, lose a final to Spurs, 15th, like sitting like almost near relegation. Then with Amorim, okay, but credit where credit is due. I think he did well to get rid of certain players and like instill a little bit of discipline in the team. But it still felt like we didn't have like it still didn't feel like Man United that any fan would know and love, even though things look like he changed a few things. So I think for Carrick to turn it around the way that he did, I think is really, really amazing, because for the first time in a long time, I think fans have something to believe in when you watch the games. So I think that I'm really pleased with how the season turned out, even though some people might say we didn't play like in Europe and stuff like that. We play once a week. We did our best with the cards that were dealt. I think that's really good.
I'll turn it over to Aqeel now. Okay, so what have you made of Carrick's job this season? What do you think of the performances that he's managed?
I think the start he had helped the team a lot. I think the games here against Man City and Arsenal like kind of gave us the belief to go on and push on for the rest of the season. But I'm coming from like a pessimist kind of point of view. I think the play style that we're having right now, I think it's a bit unsustainable. I think we're a bit lucky sometimes to be winning games. I think we are still. I know he just came in, but I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. For me personally, I think to have one game a week, honestly, I think it really plays a huge difference, because you're preparing for one team only for the whole week, like all the trainings and all that stuff. And I think with the squad that we have, we won't be able to compete like properly if we are playing the Champions League next season with no reinforcements also. But I think he did well with the players he had. He was lucky in a sense also with not many injuries up in attack, like Bruno being fit and playing every game. I think he was just facing some challenges. Maybe in defense, I think there were some centre backs injured and suspensions and all that stuff. But watching the games, I was impressed, but I wouldn't say I was like blown away. Yeah.
Okay. So when Manchester United appointed him as the permanent head coach, I think it was recently announced. What was your initial reaction to that? Did you want him in?
I wasn't sure, to be honest. I think they already stated when they brought Carrick in that he would be an interim, and then they would be looking at all the possible options. I think a lot of the fans also were concerned that this would be like another Oli situation where we get carried away, then we give him the job. But looking at the coaches, they might have wanted coaches who aren't available anymore. I think like Tuchel for England, his contract got extended. And the other names on the board also didn't really speak out, other than maybe Nagelsmann, I think maybe if we had gotten him. But other than that, I think Carrick would be the best option. He has proven that he can get the best out of the players, so why not just go ahead with him for 2 years? I don't know how long his contract is, 2 or 3 years. And just see where that takes us.
I think it's 2. I think it's 2. I think for me, if you ask me as like an outsider looking, I think y'all had to hire him lah. Because like I think looking at the options on the market, there was like he was the only like viable option, and I think he's proven to play a winning style of football. Even though like what Pap said, like what Aqeel said, it's not the most convincing style of football. There have been performances that has been a bit questionable. I'm sure you all can remember certain games. Yeah. But I think the manager market is not really looking too good right now. You see like Real Madrid, they hire like Mourinho, bit of a questionable appointment. Man City hiring Maresca, kind of signals like the lack of experienced managers that have won at the highest level. So I think in this case, I think Carrick is a good appointment. Now enough of manager talk. Okay, seems like y'all are backing Carrick all the way. Hopefully y'all win 10 Champions Leagues, 10 Premier Leagues next season, in one season. But now let's talk about something more fun. Okay, transfers. Okay. Your team needs a lot of work, right? Okay, not a lot of work lah. But really? I genuinely think that Man United are a few signings away from challenging the league. And I think an Arsenal Man United title race, I think, would be quite interesting. I think everyone would tune into that. Okay? So give me one signing that... Okay, I know you need multiple, but give me one signing that will take you to become a Premier League contending team. Okay, give me one unrealistic and one realistic.
Unrealistic.
One unrealistic and one realistic.
I think the realistic one for me, I think has to be in midfield. So honestly, like this season, it was like a season where I really watched how Elliot Anderson from Forest, like how he plays. I know he might be playing like in a similar position like to Kobe in the midfield. But I just think that they can work. Either him or Adam Wharton. I think either one of them, right, as a replacement for Casemiro.
Don't you think Wharton is a bit? I feel like Kobe is good, but sometimes in terms of his like athletic ability, maybe it's a bit questionable. You think Wharton maybe kind of like the same thing, maybe?
But if you see like the top clubs in Europe also, like let's say for PSG's midfield also, they're all unphysically like I don't know what's the word but yeah, they're all physical. But I think for the Premier League, you might need a bit of physicality. But I think you can get away with a Wharton and Kobe midfield. I think if we control the game, like how Carrick wants to play, like even when you see Casemiro and Kobe play together, like we keep the ball really well in the midfield and we don't really ask any of the midfielders to like cover so much space. So I think that might be good for us.
Okay. Casemiro is going to be a big miss for sure. Right? I saw the sign-off for him. It's almost as if you all love him more than Real Madrid love him, bro. Honestly.
I think the goals, actually, we underestimate the amount of goals he scored. I think he's almost scoring like the same amount of goals as a backup striker would, or like a striker would. I think he scored 10 in the Premier League or something like that.
Are you going to miss Casemiro?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Then give me one unrealistic.
I cannot think right now.
Okay.
Amir go first.
Means you want Mbappe. Okay.
Same. I agree with Aqeel. We need a Casemiro replacement straight away because I think in the games that he didn't play, you could see the huge difference when M7 games plays, bro. Like,
M7 games.
Unfortunately, it's done. Hang up the boots, bro. I'm so sorry. He's a handsome guy, but I think he can't take over Casemiro.
He's a good lad.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Good guy to have around changing room, but we need a Casemiro replacement. And for me, it's Elliot Anderson.
Okay.
Like, it's no question. I think he's like, I mean, we will talk more about other players later, right? But he's like top for duels won in, I think, across Europe or something like that. And you can see, like, when you watch him play, since like even last season, like how he runs the midfield on his own. I think on days where Kobe is not the most like on it, I think he's, like you said, he's not the most athletic of guys. But he needs to be on the pitch and he needs somebody that do the dirty work for him. I think Elliot Anderson is that guy. Wharton, maybe, I think I'm a big fan of Wharton in a sense that I think his range of passing is really good. And I think one thing that I think people underestimate about Casemiro, what Casemiro brought for our team is also like a few line breaking passes. Like Casemiro is not scared and he has a range to play them. But most of the time, I think everybody knows the goals that he scored. But the line breaking passes that help us move forward, I think Wharton can do that, but I don't see him as somebody as like, athletic as Elliot Anderson does. And I think Elliot Anderson can do everything. So I think that's one. And I think Carrick's not been shy about. I think he's mentioned about how good he is before. So I think that's a realistic signing. But I'm not sure if one of the top clubs will snip him up before us. Then for unrealistic, well, I got to think about that also, man.
I think for me, unrealistic might be controversial. I think SAKA from Arsenal.
Oh, where you got Bemo?
No, like I really think our right wing, right? Like we cannot be relying on Ahmad. Like this season, I really felt that Ahmad disappointed me in a way.
Oh, I should have brought my red card, bro. Where's my red card, yellow card, bro?
Trust, bro.
Wait, then Bemo?
2026.
And Bemo is not. And Bemo cannot play on the right. Like so serious. Like he's been playing as a striker. He's been striker recently.
Sesko, what?
No, but that's when Sesko. Even when the big games, right? He doesn't trust.
And Bemo's not a right winger.
He
hasn't been playing on the right pass.
Wow.
Yeah. So and Bemo can play on the right wing, but you lose. Like he doesn't beat a player on the right wing, honestly. So you need someone to like even on our left wing you got Cunha, right? He doesn't beat any player like from the outside. Kind of direct winger. We only have Ahmad. So SAKA.
Okay. Good. I mean, if you need a direct winger, there's one from Chelsea is available right now. Just miss the Argentina squad.
The one we sold to you lah.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say like Vitinha or João Neves or what, like.
No, bro.
Oh, SAKA. Okay.
I don't.
Sorry.
I don't think Vitinha and João Neves maybe, but I don't know. I feel like if Elliot Anderson is on the table here, you sign Elliot Anderson. John Evans is good.
But Elliot Anderson and Kobe played together in England and they didn't look good together, honestly. So
That's
I
true.
don't know how.
That's true.
I don't know
That's
how.
true,
That's true.
Then Germany, bro. After the punch.
Hey, I'm surprised you didn't say Chouameni. Okay.
He might.
I think he'll cost less than Anderson, so it might be like a cheeky little budget option maybe.
I think I agree with Aqeel. I think like if unrealistic transfers, I think you need like a game changer, like a winger. Or I think striker we're fine. I'm happy with having Sesko.
Yeah, same.
I feel like Cunha can fill in there. Mbemo can play there. I was in like Kvaratskhelia or Olise.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
That
Like,
makes a lot of sense.
Just game changer. Like Olise is proven to do it in Premier League. I'm a big fan of Kvaratskhelia. I think he's like one of the best players in the world now.
Mm.
I think it's a no-brainer, bro. If you have the money and it's unrealistic, just sign one of them. Because they will change that. I think they can change the game on their own. Saka, that's a crazy shout, bro.
Come
It's a
here,
crazy shout, bro.
Anything else?
He's done it, bro. He's won the Premier League.
Alright. He was injured for like most of the season, bro.
But did he win the Premier League?
Fast. Okay, it's been interesting to hear your thoughts on Manchester United season. Okay, so that's the end of the Manchester United talk.